eyes and said, yeah, I'm gonna tell you so much, baby, you're gonna be tired of hearing me. You know, like we agreed to that.
And I meant that, but you got to also look at it from perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bird 91. We're talking to you guys about Married at First Sight, and we're dealing specifically with Justin and Alexis, and we're breaking down part 2 now, where we're talking a little bit more deeper into this actual argument. And I've taken aspects of it and said, great, let's focus on the fact that Justin fears making mistakes. I slightly talked about it in the first part of this video, but in this second part, I really want to focus more on the making mistake aspect, because it's really important people understand this. You're probably asking yourself, why is it when my partner makes a mistake, they fail to be able to tell me, be honest, say sorry, or, you know, even come clean about the issue? Why is it they hide things from me? Why is it my partner's doing that? Let me tell you why. I'm going to break it down on this particular video using Married at First Sight. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification, it up, lows. And for those of you who are returnees, where you know what it is, baby, you got the minerals. You got the minerals, baby. Let's get deep into this particular video. All right, cool. So just want to, you know, break this opening thing down. Justin is like many people in this world, I included at a point in time, struggles to be able to make a mistake without feeling like he's incompetent, he's not accomplished, and he's a failure, right? Those are feelings that he has, shame and embarrassment, right? Alexis lets us know that whilst, you know, in the argument that the dog hadn't eaten for 2 days, was coughing up blood, and he was about to feed, I don't know, he was about to feed her or something like that, I don't know what it was, whatever, right? And she said, why didn't you tell me? Let's just pause there. Dog hasn't eaten for 2 days. Dog is coughing up blood. He hasn't told Alexis. This isn't about oversharing at this point. This is just simply sharing. Why would you not share that? First of all, it's not your dog, it's her dog, who you've come into covering over as a parent. And you know how much she cares about her dog. Why wouldn't you say something to her? Why wouldn't you let her know her dog hasn't eaten in 2 days? Right? Why is that information being omitted? Why is that information being left off the canvas? Why? And the reason being is because, as Justin went on to say, I thought I could handle it. Let's listen.
Literally, in my thought process, I thought I was helping the situation. I thought I was being helpful.
He was vomiting up blood. He hadn't eaten in 2 days. You still didn't share that to me.
I thought I knew what I was doing.
I get that.
Pause. He said he thought he knew what he was doing, but you still needed to tell her, even if you knew what you was doing. And the reason why you don't tell someone is you're scared that, number one, you're incompetent number one, you're incompetent at you know, doing the role. As in, maybe you've already tried to do it and it didn't work out, and you're scared about the consequences of somebody saying, actually, you know what, that wasn't good. Fear of being critiqued. Or two, you know, don't want to be micromanaged, right? You might have felt like she would micromanage. Okay, so you didn't want that pressure on your neck. You wanted to be able to have the opportunity to make a mistake and say, like, that's why he said, but I'm not perfect, because he doesn't like the critique, doesn't like the judgment that comes his way. But the problem with this is what it leads to, which is secretiveness and deception. That's how it will be perceived by the other side. Now, I don't think he's trying to be deceptive nor deceiving of Alexis, but it will look like that from her side, because you are intentionally not telling her information about certain things. And rightly so, she's going to feel like, what else are you not telling me? Even though I know personally, from my perspective, my opinion, it's my opinion, not the truth, that it's probably not that he's keeping anything from her. But the truth is, when things are going to be questioning his competence as a leader, as a man, as her man, he will potentially react the same way in other situations, because he doesn't want to look like a fool. He doesn't want to look like he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't want to look like he's not accomplished. I know, I told you, listen, sometimes I fear, let's say, like, doing things with certain people, because I'm like, maybe your standard is not my standard. I don't want to be judged. Sometimes I'm like, okay, reason why it took me a long time to book holidays and even do certain dates is because I'm scared that if I do a date and you don't like it, I don't want to be critiqued. right? I know that, and I'm starting to overcome it. It's not perfect, but I'm starting to overcome it. But I know the feeling. And so what happens is you make excuses as to why you ain't done something. Truth of the matter is you're at your depth. And all you had to do was ask. All you had to do was tell the person, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I need some help here. I'm not good at this. Right? And I'll tell you a story. I did ask a partner one time. I remember I think I've told you guys before. I was like, look, I'm not really great at doing the dates thing. And I said, look, I just need a bit of help. I think if you show me the first time, I'll have more confidence. I'll do it for the second time, third time. I'll be able to do it from then onwards. And she was like, don't be so stupid. And I was like, what? She's like, don't be so stupid. You know, when I shared my vulnerability, it was used against me. That's not how you do it, right? So ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing me, don't focus on my story, but focus on what the result was. That's not how you create a safe space when someone's vulnerable with you and tells you about their weakness. Now, many people are scared about telling people their weaknesses because they're afraid of the judgment that will come. And in Justin's case, the fear of losing Alexis. If I don't do these things, Alexis will leave me. If I'm not good at this, Alexis will leave me. If I'm not this, Alexis will, remove me. And it comes from loving the person so much that you forget to love yourself. And that really is speaking a volume about your value system, about how you really value yourself. That's a broken value system before you got with them. That's an insecurity that before you got in with them. That's got nothing to do with them. That's a you problem. And you need to sort that out. And that's where Justin is right now. He needs to sort that out. It's a value system issue. You don't value yourself enough. You're almost saying that Alexis is my better half. She's way much better than me. And when you have that thought process, guess what? When you have that thought process, you can almost guarantee that this is what kind of behavior that you'll produce. Let's listen a bit more.
That's what you're saying, but why does you holding back information translate to being helpful when I asked you not to do that?
I didn't withdraw information.
Now, the reason why he thought that holding information back would be helpful is because he didn't want her to worry. He wanted to be the one that would take away all her worries. Maybe because he felt like he's been worried and he wished somebody would do the same for him. But for him, his thing is almost trying to get ahead of the angels, not even the devils this time, because it's him trying to do a good thing so that you can he gets a pleasure out of pleasing. So he wants to be able to do this thing to get ahead so that you don't have to worry, and that would please him. But also it's part of the people-pleasing spirit. I remember, sometimes, listen, I don't like to clean all the time when I was back in my house with my parents. So my back is itchy. With my parents. But I remember when I did start liking it, it's because I started trying to use it as a way to, please them, right? So get up in the morning, hoover, wash dishes, do the living room, get up early. Because what I hated the most is someone telling me to go and clean. Like, if you tell me to go and clean, I'm not going to clean. I'm going to get pissed off. But if I go and clean, I want to make sure I'm doing it myself. I want to do it of my own validation. I want to go and clean. And then I'll get praised after, and I appreciate that. And I think Justin was trying to do what I was doing, which is he's trying to clean up the situation, get the dog sorted, everything like that. And it's like, yeah, I've done that. And she can go like, yeah, well done, thank you. I trust you. I love you, thank you for doing that. And then there's a praise that comes from it, right? That's what I said about people-pleasing spirit. And so, in the scenario, why he didn't tell her? It's because he didn't want her to worry. And it's because he wanted to be the one that solved her issues of worry. That's the problem. The bigger issue is he wanted to solve her issues of worrying through his own actions, whereas her worrying should be sorted out by herself. Not saying that you can't be worried and there's something I'm doing that might worry you. I'm talking about a general worry. And you're trying to solve that issue when really she needs to sort out that issue herself. Same with you. When we try to save people, which is what he's trying to do, save her, and I'm not saying she needed saving per se, that's when we get these things. Hey, I'm just breaking down here. I'm just a messenger. But I'm going to leave it there, okay? All right? The deception there is, the reason why someone's deceptive and they hold back information is because if they tell you the truth, then that will make them incompetent. If he tells her now the dog hasn't eaten, she's going to be like, oh my God, the dog hasn't eaten, why hasn't eaten? And it happens anyway, but you're almost delaying the process. That's why there's no point in doing it. Tell the person. And when you tell the person can now deal with it. Don't bury your head in the sand. You're burying your head in the sand because you don't want to look like the bad person. You don't want to feel like the bad person. You're not trying to be the bad person. But inevitably you become the bad person anyway because you ain't done the job. Like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you. Leave a comment down below if you agree with my summation and if it helped you as well understand your partner a bit more. Appreciate you guys.